It's the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.
West guys, 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 West guys. These guys know sports. Yeah. These guys know sports. These guys know.
And welcome to Wise Guys. These guys know sports on this Friday, July 17th on Worldwide Sports Network with Mr. Clarence Nixon. What's up, Clarence?
Hey, man. How you doing today? Happy Friday.
Happy Friday to everyone out there. Everybody remember, go and follow Wise Guys on Twitter at WiseGuys_OH. Also on Facebook, Wise Guys. And be sure to follow Wise Guys on Instagram at These Guys Know Sports. Clarence, how you doing today, bro?
Man, I'm doing good, man. Ready to talk some sports with you and get this weekend under control.
For real, man. How was your week? Your week been good this week?
Yeah, it's been good this week, man. Hey, before we do anything else, I want to get a big shout out to our own personal manager, our own business manager, Jordan, for appreciate for what she done for us, and glad for her to be on board. I just want to give her a big shout out before we do the show, man.
Yeah, definitely, man. We appreciate Jordan and what she brings to the table for Wise Guys, man. She does a lot of the behind the scenes work for us, and we really got to show her more gratitude and appreciation, man. One day we got to bring Jordan on, man. And we got to
one day. One day. Good topic. We can talk about tennis. If she's cool with
it could be anything. It could be some political stuff because football, sports and politics go hand in hand in a way. Now, especially now in the times that we live in now. But definitely, man, shout out to Jordan. We definitely appreciate Jordan.
Jordan, I know you listening, but sign up for the guest sheet.
Jordan for president. Jordan for president. But everybody, we're going to have a big time show today. We're going to talk about Sixers head coach Brett Brown moving Ben Simmons to the power forward spot. Also, we're going to talk about Russell Westbrook being ranked 22nd on Bleacher Report's NBA best players list. Crazy. Those things we're going to get into. We got to start off in the NFL, as NFL Madden released their ratings this week for the best players at their respective positions and their ratings. So Madden gave 99 overall rating to Patrick Mahomes, but there was an interesting player that also received a 99 rating, and that would be Michael Thomas. So that's where we begin the show today, Clarence. And the question here is, do you believe that Michael Thomas deserves a 99 overall rating on Madden?
Yes, Michael Thomas deserves a 99 overall rating on Madden. Let me tell you why. Because he was the best receiver last season. He was a big threat for the Saints. He broke Marvin Harrison's reception record, and he could have broke Calvin Johnson most receiving yards in a season. Michael Thomas was on pace, man, to break a lot of good records that nobody don't ever wants to mention, because it's still the respect for Julio, DeAndre Hopkins. You can even throw in Odell Beckham and AJ when he's healthy, but we're not gonna get into that. But listen though, Trey, you gotta give him his props, because for him, he was the only legitimate threat on that Saints offense, regardless of Alvin Kamara catching out the backfield. He wasn't more reliable than Michael Thomas. And everybody always mentioned, like, he does a lot of short routes. He catch all the balls in short routes, but at the same time, this guy, you can line him up anywhere, and he can do any route that you give him, man. And he's definitely should be well deserved to be one of the best receivers in the NFL. I give you this though. I'm not saying he's gonna like repeat the last type of statistics as he did last year, but it's gonna be something similar to them numbers. Like, I can dig 110 catches, over 1,400 yards, at least 10 touchdowns. That's his mark right there. He's the third highest paid receiver in the NFL at currently right now. And if he being paid as the highest paid, he has to put up these monster numbers. And I honestly believe he still can. He already had 473 yards in the first 4 years of his NFL. That broke the record that led with Christian McCaffrey, Odell Beckham, and one of the only, A.J. Green. That's just something brilliant right there. 4,000 receiving yards in the next 4 years. That's remarkable. That's remarkable. That's the fastest for any receiver, man. He's well known as the best receiver in the league, Trey.
He's not the best receiver in the league. He's not the best receiver.
Deserves a 99 overall rating.
He does not deserve a 99 overall rating. He's not the best receiver in the NFL. So you're wrong on both ends on that accord. But when I look at Michael Thomas, I will give him credit because he had a good season last year. Had 149 receptions, which was a record-breaking season for him. 9 touchdowns, over 1,700 receiving yards on the season. Listed at 6'3", 212 pounds. Receiver out of Ohio State. He's been a reliable target for Drew Brees, and he's a big-time target as well. He has a huge catch radius, and he can really position himself to get the football at his highest points. That's why I believe Drew Brees trusts him, throwing him the ball and expecting Michael Thomas to come down with the football for the most part. And again, he's a 3-time Pro Bowl receiver so far in his career, so he's accomplished some nice milestones in the short time he's been in the NFL. But do I believe he deserves a 99 overall rating on Madden? Absolutely not, because I don't even believe he's the best receiver in the NFL. He doesn't have that breakaway speed that Odell Beckham has. He doesn't have that ability also to make plays in the big time moments, especially in the playoffs. Last year in the playoff game against the Minnesota Vikings, let me give you these statistical numbers for Michael Thomas. He had 7 receptions for 70 receiving yards, no touchdowns. He was completely shut down last year by the Minnesota Vikings. And then the year previously, he had some nice numbers against the Philadelphia Eagles in the wild card matchup, 12 receptions, 171 receiving yards, 1 touchdown. That was a good game. But the next exact week, going up against the Rams in the NFC Championship game, he had 4 receptions for just 36 receiving yards. He got shut down in the NFC Championship game in the 2018 season. Listen, do I think Michael Thomas is an elite receiver? I do believe he's an elite receiver. But do I believe he's better than Julio Jones, DeAndre Hopkins, or Odell Beckham? I do not. I think he's more in that Devontae Adams, Michael, and that Evans, Amari Cooper. That's the players that I think he belongs on the most. Like, I think he belongs with those players more so than Julio, DeAndre, and Odell. I think they're on another level. And I know everybody want to discredit Odell Beckham for the last few years because statistically he hasn't performed like we've seen in previous years. But we got to remember, situation matters. And let's not pretend like if Odell was in that system with Drew Brees and Sean Payton, that he wouldn't put up equivalent or even better numbers than Michael Thomas. I think Michael Thomas deserves to be in that Amari Cooper and that Mike Evans and that Devontae Adams conversation, but not with Odell, Julio, and DeAndre Hopkins.
So you telling me Amari Cooper, Mike Evans, and your favorite receiver, Devontae Adams, will put up the numbers that Michael Thomas did in New Orleans?
Yes. If Devontae Adams was in that system with Drew Brees and Sean Payton playing in that dome, it's going to increase your stats. You playing in a nice climate. You're going to throw the ball all over the field. You're not dealing with the conditions that Devontae is dealing with in Green Bay, where it's cold out. And guess what? Last year in the playoffs, Devontae balled out in the playoff game against the Seattle Seahawks. Do you remember? He balled out against their secondary, even though Seattle's secondary isn't that good. But I'm saying I believe Michael Thomas, he hasn't played well in the playoffs so far in his young career.
Ridiculous, man. Did you even forget about the NFC Championship when Diggs caught the touchdown pass? He had over 100 yards. He actually gave him the go-ahead touchdown. See, I think you're pulling out the bag, trying to pull out some of the bad games that he had. But to be honest, the only bad game he had was against that Rams game in the NFC Championship game, which when they shut him all out, they threw every double team him. Everywhere where he went, they had a safety on top of him. A linebacker was in the middle of him. So everywhere he did, like someone was extra there. But listen, here's the thing. For Michael Thomas, what he brings to that same offense is a workhorse mentality. He's reliable. He's durable. He's a freak of beast, man. He's a freak. Honestly, man. He's a freak, like a freak animal, man. He's that type of receiver that he's built like a muscle man, but he can move, man. I just feel like Michael Thomas, though, for what he did in these 4-year spans was something that was never done. Like almost 500 catches in 4 years. Like that's very impressive, Trey. That's very impressive. He passed your guy Odell Beckham, what, like 100 more catches over them, but like the things he does on the field, man, that's reliable. He's reliable. And for Davante Adams being in New Orleans, he wouldn't be that reliable because he has too many injuries, toe injuries, foot injuries, whatever injuries that he always have, Trey. I just don't understand how you trying to say these receivers can do the same thing as Michael Thomas, but some of these receivers don't bring the same skill set or trait as Michael Thomas brings.
But I believe Davante Adams is a better route runner than Michael Thomas. Davante Adams is the best route runner in the NFL. Don't look it up.
Run after catch.
So even if we doing run after catch, Odell is better with yak, which is yards after catch, than Michael Thomas is. Like, Odell is a home run hitter. Odell is significantly better than Michael Thomas. I hate when people try to act like Odell isn't very good anymore. Like, y'all act like y'all disrespect Odell Beckham like Odell is not a top 5 receiver.
You can't. Nobody's not disrespecting Odell at the same time. You can't. Okay, Michael Thomas is a good route runner. He got great hands, and he take a lot of hits, and he can do almost any route that you tell him to do. There are certain receivers that can't do every route. Like Davante Adams, he is like you said, yards after the catch. So more likely he's basically taking a deep shot or a deep post, man. For Odell, I give you that. Odell is a talented receiver. He honestly, if he would have had an okay season in Cleveland, I still would have considered him that. But at the same time, that derailed his reputation though. Like, because he got a big ego and he didn't produce well with Cleveland, even though they was favored to go to the Super Bowl or at least make the playoffs. But you
don't get to do that, Clarence. Don't do that. You don't get to do that. But that's not right, because we know football, because we know receiver is a dependent position. You have to have other things that go right for you to get the football. And last year, there was numerous other things that we talked about with the Browns that they had issues with before we even got to Odell. They had issues with coaching with Freddie Kitchens. They had issues at quarterback with Baker Mayfield.
Before the season? Did they have all them problems before the season? Before the season,
I'm talking the pressure. What do you mean before the season? What are you talking about?
I'm saying this: did Freddie Kitchens, Odell face all these problems that they had in the season before?
I'm talking about during the season production. Last year, Odell Beckham had 74 receptions, over 1,000 receiving yards, just 4 touchdowns. He still had over 1,000 yards receiving, and that was a down year for Odell. And that was with all the chaos that was going on in the Cleveland Browns organization. What I'm saying is, we can't sit up here and act like the situation don't matter. And I don't know what you watching, and you delusional if you believe Michael Thomas is overall better talent than Odell Beckham.
I'm going to say this. AJ Green. Okay. The Bengals is 5-27-1 without AJ Green. They are 5-21. No, 5-27-1 without AJ Green, man. He makes that team better because what he brings to the table and what he can do. For Michael Thomas, he helped turn that Saints offense all the way up, because they didn't in the years before he was drafted, they didn't have a reliable receiver. Marcus Colston was coming to his age years. He retired early. They didn't have no reliable receiver. They didn't have no other receiver but him. Now they got Emmanuel Sanders will make it even more better, because he could be a decoy and Michael Thomas will still get hits. So it's gonna be very interesting. For Odell, Jarvis Landry was the best receiver on that team. And everybody know that Odell is better than Jarvis, but Jarvis is still good. He's a top number 2 receiver in the NFL. I'm gonna just give you that. But Michael Thomas is legit, bro.
I'm not saying he's not legit. I'm just saying there's levels to this. And I don't think he is on Julio, Odell, or DeAndre Hopkins level. I think he's more so closer to Amari Cooper, to Mike Evans, Chris Godwin. I think he's on that level more so than DeAndre, Odell, and Julio.
4 straight seasons with at least 90 catches and 11 and at least 1,000 yards and over 5 touchdowns. You telling me that's not good enough for him to be on the level as Julio?
But let me say something. Let me give you some pushback on that, because we like basketball too. We love our NBA. If it's a player that is a high volume player and his shot attempts is high, he's going to average at least 20 to 25 points per game. If a player is shooting majority of the shots and he's getting all of the touches and he's a number one option on a basketball team, guess what? More than likely his points per game average will go up. What I'm saying is Michael Thomas is in a situation where Drew Brees and Sean Payton, they force feed him the football because he is the best receiver on that team and he's reliable. I'm not saying he's not elite. I'm not saying he doesn't deserve to be in the conversation as being one of the elite receivers that we have in the NFL. But I think it's levels to this. I think Odell, Julio, and DeAndre Hopkins are more proven than Michael Thomas. I got to see more from Michael Thomas in the playoffs and the biggest moment.
How is DeAndre Hopkins and Julio is proven? Well, DeAndre Hopkins, he's never made the AFC Conference Championship ever in his career. So
that's
he never
not his fault.
No. I'm just saying. Hold on.
So situation don't matter. Situation don't matter.
Okay,
Huh?
okay. Here's this. Michael Thomas is on a streak. 4 straight years with at least 1,000 yards. He ain't had nothing 1,000 yards under. Not even once. So he's definitely top 3 receiver in the league. Top 5. Odell's a top 5 receiver too, but Odell's not better than Michael Thomas.
Okay, let's go to the next question. So I'm assuming that you believe Michael Thomas is the best receiver in the NFL. Is that true? That was the next question. Is Michael Thomas currently the best receiver in the NFL?
Yeah, I believe it. I think he's currently the best receiver in the NFL, man. I truly believe it. But don't get me wrong. Julio is a monster. He had 99 catches, 1,300 receiving yards, only 4 touchdowns. D. Hopkins had almost 100 catches on 1,400 receiving yards. D. Hopkins proven. But for Michael Thomas, he's right there with those guys. Right there with those guys. The production he's never giving you low production. He's always giving you the production that they want from him. So I just consider it.
So when we talk about playoff performances, right?
Yeah.
I told you I think Davante Adams has played better in the playoffs than Michael Thomas. So let me give you some of these numbers. Last year, hold on, how do you disagree? The statistics speak for itself. Last year in the playoffs, in the wild card game at Lambeau, Davante Adams had 8 receptions for 160 receiving yards and 2 touchdowns. And in the game where we got beat down in the Bay, Davante Adams had 9 receptions, 138 receiving yards against
garbage.
What do you mean? He still produced, and that's going up against the best defense in the NFL and the 49ers.
Look, he did all that in garbage time. The game was already gone, man. He did all that in garbage time, man.
Listen, we can. This is an ongoing conversation, ongoing debate. We'll continue to debate this. Clarence believes that Michael Thomas is the best receiver in the NFL. I say no, and I also believe that Michael Thomas is more closer to Mike Evans, Amari Cooper. He's more in that conversation of receivers, more so than DeAndre, Odell, or Julio. That's
Mike Evans. Mike Evans is clearly better than Amari Cooper and Davante Adams. Like literally, he's better than both.
How's Mike Evans better than Davante?
Why? How isn't he?
Why do you keep on trying to disrespect my receiver?
I'm not disrespecting your receiver, but you just said Mike. He's in that lane with Mike Evans, Amari Cooper, and Davante Adams. Mike Evans is better than Amari Cooper and Davante Adams. He's been proven ever since he came into the league, man.
He's not more. He might be better than Amari Cooper, but he's not better than Davante. Like I don't understand why you believe Davante is like not a top elite receiver in the NFL.
He's a top 10 receiver.
Easy.
Probably 8 or 9.
No, he's way higher than 8 or 9. No, he's way higher than 8 or 9.
He's not no 5, 6, or 7.
Stop the shenanigans, Clarence. He's way better than 8 or 9. Yeah,
no shenanigans. He's not durable for the Packers team, which all these other receivers, they are durable for their team. Regardless, Mike Evans never been to the playoffs in his career. He's been durable for his team for a long time. And Davante Adams, he hasn't.
I'm gonna go out on a limb here. I'm gonna say something. Everybody, remember going to follow Wise Guys on Twitter at wiseguys_h, also on Facebook, Wise Guys, and be sure to follow Wise Guys on Instagram with These Guys Know Sports. I'm thinking about Packers history, like all the receivers that Aaron Rodgers has played with throughout his career. I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say something that most people might not agree with. I think Davante Adams is the best receiver that Aaron Rodgers has ever had in his career.
Are you serious?
I would take Davante over Jordy Nelson. I think he's more talented than Jordy Nelson. He's a better route runner than Jordy Nelson. Yes. He also is
ridiculous.
That's not ridiculous.
You're ridiculous.
So who's better than Davante? And throughout Aaron Rodgers' career, who's been the best receiver for Aaron Rodgers?
Davante is number 2. I'll give you that. But Jordy Nelson was definitely reliable, and he was definitely effective for Aaron Rodgers.
Jordy Nelson was good, but Jordy Nelson, he's not a better route runner than Davante Adams. Also, Davante
one great better route runner. We talk about overall play. Jordy Nelson was better than Aaron Rodgers. I mean, not Aaron Rodgers, but Davante Adams. Excuse me.
I always felt like the reason why Jordy was successful the way he was because he had Aaron Rodgers. If Davante Adams went and played, wow. If he went and played for Brisket or Kyler Murray or a rookie quarterback, you can put Davante on any team, and I think Davante would produce. That's how great I think Davante is.
Yeah.
I'm not saying Davante is the best receiver in the NFL. I just think Davante Adams. I think he's the best. I think he's the best receiver that Aaron Rodgers has ever played with. Randall Cobb is good, but Randall Cobb wasn't reliable. He was always injured.
Receiver. So I'm not even mentioning him. But to put Davante Adams over Jordy Nelson is ridiculous, Trey. It's really ridiculous. You need to go talk to a shrink, man.
No, I would take Davante, but we got to move on. That was a nice conversation. We'll get more into that as the weeks go along. That's an ongoing debate. Let's move on to some NBA. Last week, during an interview with Bleacher Report, JJ Redick was on Taylor Rook's show, and he said that LeBron James and Kevin Durant's decisions drew hate because of racism. Obviously, we're talking about when LeBron James chose to take his talents to South Beach and play with the Miami Heat, and Kevin Durant choosing to go play with the Warriors a few years ago. JJ Redick said that those free agent moves was a discomfort for most people because it was powerful black men making a decision for themselves. So do you believe, Clarence, that JJ Redick has a point?
Yeah. Yes. Before I go on, everybody follow Wise Guys on Facebook, Instagram, These Guys Know Sports, and Twitter, Wise Guys _OH. We are here now live on a worldwide sports radio network. JJ Redick definitely has a point because I had to do my own little research on this, like what he was meaning, and it all made sense. I just like when LeBron made the decision, I truly believe that he set the tone for these young black males and black athletes. Like, hey, if you want to win so bad, you got to do whatever it takes to win. You got to do whatever it takes to win. You got to find some way to win. And for Kevin Durant, he took it to a whole nother level. He basically said, hey, I'm going to be the villain, and I don't care if I'm going to be the villain or not. I want to do whatever it takes to win. So he teamed up with the villain to get what he wanted, and LeBron James teamed up with the superheroes and got what he wanted. So you kind of get that pattern. You kind of get that pattern though. Like they basically found ways to win, and I think this was like this isn't like effective about the racism because some people that probably are racist, they was cool with LeBron entertaining them, and when they found out he was leaving, that's what their racism side came out, and it went bad. Like I read some old reports when he left and stuff. It was bad, Trey. I would admit that, and it was probably worse than KD's because for KD, people were just shocked, like, oh wow, okay, see, they had their rights to be mad. They did. They had their rights to be mad. But I just felt like for LeBron's, it was more racism towards his decision than KD's though, because he actually he meant a lot to that Cleveland organization. Like KD did too, but he turned them into like rags to riches. But this definitely made a discomfort though. It did though, and this set the tone for players to speak up and speak their own speak their own right. Like, hey, man, if I don't get what I want, man, I'm leaving. And guess what? They can do that because their value and their leverage was so big that the owner had to make a choice. Like, so I think they really affected the NBA a lot because you've seen that a lot when Paul George secretly decided he wanted to get traded and go play with Kawhi Leonard. And him and Russell Westbrook had a discussion like, if we about to do that, we might as well separate. So they went their separate ways. I feel like it affected.
So you would say that basically the decisions about LeBron James and Kevin Durant drew hate because of racism. You would say yes?
Yeah.
I disagree. I don't think this had anything to do with racism. Like I will say when it comes to LeBron James, I will give him credit from this standpoint. LeBron James started the whole player empowerment. Like he gave players he gave them the ability to feel like they had the power and could control where they want to go and play. So he started the whole player empowerment movement. And I'll give him a ton of credit for that because back in the day, like basically it was the organizations and the teams that dictated where players played at. Now players can make decisions and do things for their families on their own. They don't necessarily need the organization to make those decisions for them. That's why you see a lot of players signing these 2 or 3 year contracts, not 5 or 6 year contracts, because they want to be able to have the ability to maneuver or get out of a certain situation because they want to win championships. So I completely give all the credit to LeBron James for starting the player empowerment movement. But I disagree about it from the racism stamp angle with JJ Redick. I just think people didn't like the fact that LeBron James and Kevin Durant changed the entire complexion of the NBA and from a competition standpoint, especially Kevin Durant. We'll get to Kevin Durant in a minute. But LeBron James, him taking his talents to South Beach to team up with Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh, I think people were more upset about the way LeBron went to Miami, more so than the decision itself. I think the fact that he had a show aired on ESPN, The Decision, and he told Cleveland that, hey, I'm leaving. I'm going down to South Beach to play with Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh. I think Cleveland fans had an issue with LeBron James going on live on TV and saying what he said about going down there to play. I think that's what people issue more so than the decision itself. I think he should have informed Dan Gilbert or informed Cleveland fans in some kind of capacity that he was going down to Miami to play basketball. When it comes to Kevin Durant, I think basketball fans in the NBA, they were upset because Kevin Durant joining forces with the Golden State Warriors completely changed the landscape of the NBA. It made it unfair. It made it very predictable on who was going to win the NBA championship every single year when Kevin Durant was in Golden State. We knew the Warriors were going to be in the championship conversation. Although the Warriors were already in the championship conversation before Kevin Durant arrived in the Bay because they got to the finals in 2015 and 2016. But once Kevin Durant went to Golden State, the NBA became predictable. And that's what we love as NBA fans and really sports fans as a whole. We want things to not be predictable. We want to be caught off guard. We want it to be a surprise every now and then. I think that's the reason why really more so Kevin Durant's decision drew the hate that it drew was because Kevin Durant helped change the entire landscape of the NBA, not anything to do with racism specifically.
I think you got to think about it though. Some fans gonna be mad. They gonna be angry, and the racism will come out. It will come out it'll just come out eventually. Like I just felt like that at some point that someone was mad that LeBron James left Cleveland and Kevin Durant left OKC, and the racism card just came out like, man, just because they're angry. And I believe people like some people had their ways when how they dealt with it. And the simple fact that it did happen, they ain't know how to deal with it. They didn't know how to deal with it.
But I think that's more because of the competition, Clarence. I don't think that really got anything to do with racism. I think this is a different. We can't use racism for everything. You can't race. You can't. Right. Because sometimes folks they get in this habit of always saying something has something to do with racism. Everything is not about racism. Let's stop that. Okay, we got to stop that as a society. Always blaming things on racism. I think this is just a situation where, as an NBA fan, we knew LeBron going down to team up with Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh. That was going to change the whole entire landscape of the Eastern Conference in the NBA because we knew the Miami Heat were going to be the favorites with 3 predominant all-stars on their team. And we also knew Kevin Durant teaming up with the team that went to the finals in back-to-back seasons. We knew that the Golden State Warriors were going to be a force to be reckoned with, and they were going to be dominating the NBA as long as Kevin Durant was in Golden State. I think people were more so upset about the fact that they changed the landscape and the competition factor more so than it being a racism thing. I just think people they don't like the fact that it's predictable. And these decisions by LeBron James and Kevin Durant gave us as sports fans an indication of what was going to happen once we got to the NBA season and also into the playoffs.
Yeah, I think though, but I also thinks that like when players or when fans are not satisfied or not happy that their favorite player has been gone, the anger and the racism come out. It just comes out like it don't mean to be coming out, but it comes out because simple fact that they was raised on it and how they just reacted to it. But now, like you said, LeBron made the black empowerment move. Now, people like players are starting to take stand of it. Like, if I'm not satisfied here, I'm going to voice my opinion, and I'm going to find a new home, or we're going to reconstruct a deal. I truly believe that.
Yeah, everybody remember go follow Wise Guys on Twitter at WiseGuys_H, also on Facebook, Wise Guys. And be sure to follow Wise Guys on Instagram at These Guys Know Sports. We live here on the Worldwide Sports Network. So, Clarence, let's shift gears back to some NFL. And let's talk about the Tennessee Titans. As the Tennessee Titans and Derrick Henry reached an agreement on a 4-year, $50 million deal that includes a $25.5 million guarantee. So, my question for you is, do you agree with this contract that the Titans offered Derrick Henry, and do you believe he is worth getting $25 million guaranteed from the Titans?
First of all, I want a big shout out to Derrick Henry because he got the contract. He got him a contract extension. He got him a contract extension. He got paid. Like, I'm gonna be honest. He got paid. 4 years over $50 million, $12.5 million a year. That puts him in the top 5 of the highest paid running back. Top 5 or top 6. I'm gonna just say. But I'm gonna just say this though. I like the deal. I like it. Do I think he's worth more? Oh, absolutely. But at the same time, though, you don't want to overpay a running back. That's always been the story. You don't want to overpay a running back. And I think for this value at $12.5 million, this is great. This is great for him. Now, like, this puts him in the highest paid running back market, and he can get more money if he keep proceeding to do well. I mean, last year 303 attempts, only 1,500 rushing yards and 16 touchdowns, and he played 15 out of 16 games. That's brilliant. He doing what he's supposed to do. And his 4 years, he ain't only missed two games over in the 4-year span. So he is a reliable back. He's more reliable. And I truly believe he's in line to get more money once that new TV deal drops, though. But
yeah,
this is a good comforter spot. This is a good price for him because you don't want to overpay him. You don't want to overpay him. You don't want to overwork him. But
yeah.
But this actually opened the door for my favorite running back, Joe Mixon, for the Cincinnati Bengals, that he can match this type of offer contract. That can be saved. That can be talked for.
He's not on this level yet, Clarence. Don't try to put Joe Mixon on this. I like Joe Mixon, but he's not on this level yet where Derrick Henry is.
Top 5. Mixon's a top 5 running back, man.
He's not. He's not. But that's another conversation for another day. But
for Derrick Henry, though, I'm happy that he got this contract, and I think that I feel like you just don't want to give him more. You don't want to keep giving him more and more, and he doesn't produce that contract. So I think this is fine for him.
So you like the deal? You like the deal overall for Derrick? You like it overall for Derrick Henry? You like the deal?
Yeah, I like the deal.
Okay, I completely agree with you. I think Derrick Henry earned this contract from the Tennessee Titans. You know, last year on the season, Derrick Henry, he won the rushing title last year. He had over 1,500 rushing yards last season, and he posted consecutive seasons of more than 1,000 rushing yards between 2018 and 2019. And of all the NFL running backs with at least 200 carries last year, Derrick Henry's rate of 5.1 yards per carry was the highest in the NFL. And last year, before the Titans got to the AFC Championship game, Derrick Henry accounted for 69% of the team's total offense. So Derrick Henry is the engine that keeps the Titans offense rolling. Okay, like he is the engine to the car. So make no mistake about it. He's the best player on their offense by far. And I want to say one more other thing. I know last year, Ryan Tannehill had 22 touchdowns, just 6 interceptions. But you know Ryan Tannehill also got paid this offseason. The reason why Ryan Tannehill got paid was because he rode the legs of Derrick Henry to an AFC Championship appearance. If it wasn't for Derrick Henry, Ryan Tannehill would have had no business being in the AFC Championship game going up against Patrick Mahomes. Ryan Tannehill, I'm happy that he got his money. But I also believe next year, throughout the entire season, Clarence, the entire season, I think Ryan Tannehill should be paying for Derrick Henry's lunch. Every practice, after every practice, he should be taking him to lunch. Derrick Henry got Ryan Tannehill's contract. But when it comes to Derrick Henry as a player, I like the fact he's going to get $25 million guaranteed. I think he deserves to be in that elite running back conversation with Zeke Elliott, with Christian McCaffrey, with Saquon Barkley. I think Derrick Henry proved himself last year in the playoffs as he steamrolled the Tennessee Titans to the AFC Championship game. I like Derrick Henry as a running back. He's a different kind of back, though, because I think he's not a great pass catcher out of the backfield like Saquon and Christian McCaffrey and Zeke, but he's a power back that runs between the tackles. He runs hard, and he hits you in the mouth. I would hate to have to tackle Derrick Henry because he's hard to bring down. But I do agree with you that he deserves his contract, and I'm happy for him.
Yeah, For Derrick Henry, man, that's 6'3", 240 running at you, Trey. So he's built like a linebacker and a defensive end all put together. So you don't want to tackle no guy like that. You don't even want to look his way. And believe it or not, he runs tall. He's a tall guy. He's a tall guy that's powerful. And I think for him, he benefit the Tennessee Titans a lot. And you always say Ryan Tannehill doesn't you feel like you really don't feel like he doesn't deserve that contract, but he did well enough to get that contract, and it was up for the Titans to decide do they wanted him or not. So, but here's the catchy part though. Here's the catch part. Both of these players has showed that they can lead a team. Now they've been one.
Wait, who showed they can lead a team? Wait a minute. Well, hold on.
No, I'm saying both of them. Ryan Tannehill, and Derrick Henry, they proved the Tennessee Titans and the coaching staff, Mike Vrabel, that they can lead this Titans team to the glory world. Like that's what they're getting paid for. They're getting
Ryan
paid.
Tannehill hasn't proven much. What are you talking about?
Yes, he has. He's proved. I ain't say he's look. Ryan Tannehill did his thing. He did his thing, Trey. He did his thing. He carried that team to the end. He got traded. Mariota got benched, and he came in and led the team to the AFC Championship with Derrick Henry. With Derrick Henry, man, that's something that you just can't ignore. And now they're facing a higher risk now. And they got a high expectation on their head. Now they definitely have to compete every single year in the AFC South, which I truly believe that's what they're going to do. I truly believe they're going to compete because they're getting paid elite money and they got to produce elite numbers. Now,
I think they'll compete in the AFC South as well. But I like Mike Vrabel as a head coach. He showed me something. Yeah, I love Mike Vrabel. He showed me something last year, and he showed me he can lead a team on a nice playoff run. They overachieved last year. I didn't expect the Tennessee Titans to make the run that they had last year. That was impressive for me, but I don't think Ryan Tannehill is a quarterback that you can say can lead your team to the Super Bowl. On his career, for his quarterback record, he's 500, 49-49. 6 years in Miami, he went 42-46. He's not a quarterback that can lead you to a Super Bowl, in my opinion. I think he rode the coattails of Derrick Henry last year. If it wasn't for Derrick Henry, the Tennessee Titans would not have been in the AFC Championship game last season. But I want to say this real quick about the Tennessee Titans as a team. I like them in the AFC South because I believe they're really making some strides, and I got big expectations for them next season. I don't think they're going to win a Super Bowl or even get back to the AFC Championship because I don't believe in Ryan Tannehill. But I think they can go on a nice playoff run next year and maybe get to the AFC division around the playoffs, and we'll see what happens. But do I expect them to beat Patrick Mahomes or Lamar Jackson or Deshaun Watson? I don't see that happen.
Yeah, that it's gonna be a challenge, Trey. I'm not gonna doubt them, but it's gonna definitely be a challenge for them. Well, let's move on, man. Let's move on. Let's transition back to some NBA, baby. We're gonna talk about Russell Westbrook was ranked 22nd in the top 100 of Bleacher Report rankings. 22nd. Oh my gosh, Trey. Do you believe Russell Wilson is? Do you believe that number that he's ranked at 22nd?
Hell no. Of course not. They completely lost all their credibility with me.
Yeah.
You ranked Russell Westbrook the 22nd best player in the NBA.
Hold on. Oh, and then they ranked Chris Middleton and Jason Tatum in front of him.
Yes. Like what? Like Chris Middleton, he's not even a top 10 player in the NBA. He's
No.
not. Chris Middleton is not better than Kyrie Irving. Chris Middleton is not better than Steph Curry. He's not better than James Harden or Anthony Davis, LeBron James, Kawhi Leonard. I could go on. I mean, I don't even think Chris Middleton is a reliable second option on a championship team. That's
He's
why I
a
don't
top 15 guy, but top 10.
He maybe top 15, but I don't even believe him as being a reliable second option on a championship team. I don't think the Bucks are going to win a championship this year. I think Chris Middleton is a great third option. Like I think he could fill that role that Chris Bosh filled with the Miami Heat when LeBron and D Wade was in South Beach. I think he's more fit for that role, or maybe even like a third piece to a championship team, like a Draymond Green. Because Draymond didn't even know third piece really. Draymond's he's an all around player, but I don't think he's a reliable second option on a championship team.
For Chris Middleton though, like him ranked over Russell Westbrook is crazy though. It's crazy, and I can't admit Chris Middleton had some strides in last season before this pandemic hit. That when Giannis wasn't playing, he was showing that he can put up big numbers without Giannis, that he can show that he's a reliable source for them. But Russell Wilson ranked too low, 22nd.
Westbrook.
Yeah, Westbrook is ranked too low. Like, I mean, what, 22nd? People is ignoring the fact that this man averaged a triple-double 3 straight years. And it was 30, 10, and 10. 30, 10, and 10. He was still dropping 30 points with 10 rebounds, sometimes 15 rebounds, 15 assists, whatever. What he brought to the table is brilliant. What he brought to the table was fierce and skilled athlete that can stretch the floor. Oh my God, I'm starting to get a headache because I can't believe he's ranked 27, Trey. I can't believe he's ranked 27.
I can't either. They got Kyle Lowry ranked over Russell Westbrook. Kyle Lowry isn't better than Russell Westbrook.
Kyle Lowry is one of them type of guys that he's tough. He's a pit bull tough, and he's actually a knockdown shooter, and he's very a good facilitator. But I would not put him over Russell Westbrook. I wouldn't. I wouldn't. I would not. I would dare not to. Like Russell Westbrook. Well, excuse me. I keep saying Wilson. Russell Westbrook, Brody is like legitimate. Like he's really like a superstar, a mega superstar with these other guys. Like what he brings to the table, like Jason Tatum and Chris Middleton, or even Kyle Lowry can't even do. That's ridiculous. Yeah. Please tell me the last time you seen Jason Tatum get at least 5 assists. At least 5 assists. Tell me the last time you seen Chris Middleton get 5 assists. At least. Russell getting 5 assists in the first quarter. The first 6 minutes of the game. That's how like good he is as a player, man. This is ridiculous.
And then it ain't even just that though. I'm looking at the list right now. They got Luka Doncic and Jokic ranked higher than Anthony Davis. Jokic is not better than Anthony Davis. He's not. He's not. Jokic ain't better than Anthony Davis.
Hey. Jokic is a walking triple-double. Luka is a walking triple-double, man. You got to look. But what Luka brings to that Dallas team is excitement, shooting, man, deep shots, man, dribbling, ball handling, rebound, you name it, man.
I like Luka. Luka has a promising future, but Luka's not better than AD. He's not better than. Okay, let's go back to guards. Luka is not better than Damian Lillard. He's not better than Damian Lillard. Damian better.
I think Luka brings more to the table than Damian Lillard, though. Man, rebounding, passing.
Who's more proven? Damian's more proven than Luka, but Luka's only a rookie.
So, first of all, that's a bad comparison of that question. But okay, who is the next guard? Luka ain't better than.
I don't think Luka is better than. I would pick a few. Luka's nice. I like Luka as a player, but it's a couple players I would pick over him. Damian Lillard, one of them. I would pick Anthony Davis over him as well. And then, like I said, they got Chris Middleton at 10. I don't think Chris Middleton is really all that better than Jason Tatum. But what do you say to that? I think Jason Tatum is a superstar in the making.
Yeah, Jason Tatum is more proven than and Chris Middleton, in my opinion, because in his rookie year, remember that he helped lead them to the NBA Finals. Him, Scary Terry, and Jaylen Brown, Marcus Smart. That was a nice setup that they had, and he almost beat the one and only LeBron James. He would have broke his streak for most finals appearance in the NFL since Bill Russell and them. Bill Russell Celtics from in the 60s. I think Tatum should have been over Chris Middleton. I think Chris Middleton, what's different about him, he can play defense. He's a good defender. He can guard the 3 and the 4s. He's a solid defender. He's very effective. But his game compared to Jason Tatum brings more to it, man. He brings more to it than Chris Middleton, bro.
Yeah, and I mean, I'll give Chris Middleton his credit. I think Chris Middleton is a nice player, and I think he can be a third option on a championship contender. He's a good shooter. This year he's averaging 21 points per game on 50% shooting from the floor, 42% from three-point range. I like Chris Middleton as a player. I'm not saying Chris Middleton is a scrub. Make no mistake about it.
He's not no scrub.
Yeah, he's not no scrub. I think it's levels to this. And I don't think Chris Middleton is anywhere close to a superstar potential player. I see superstar potential in Jason Tatum. I see superstar potential in Luka. I give Luka credit on that from that standpoint, but I just think it's crazy to have Brody ranked 22nd. It's disrespectful, quite honestly.
So that leads into our next question of Wise Guy. Do you believe Russell Westbrook is a top 10 player in the NFL? NBA?
Top 10 player. That's tough. I think he's in that conversation. Brody is in that conversation. And by the way, man, get well soon, Brody, because we know Brody came down with the virus, man, down there. You know, we want him to get well soon and be able to help the Houston Rockets on a nice playoff run. But it's tough, man. I would have to think about it. Like I'm gonna say the guys who are for sure better than Russell Westbrook right now.
Okay.
LeBron James.
Obviously.
Kawhi Leonard.
Okay.
Anthony Davis. I'm taking AD over Russ right now. I'm taking AD over Russ. Giannis.
To which he's having a good season, and he's on his way to a final. Okay,
and mind you, I'm just so everybody clear. I'm only talking about this season. This year. This season. LeBron, Kawhi, Giannis, AD, James Harden. I think Russell was the second best player on his team. I think James Harden is the best player on the Houston Rockets. Who else I would say? That's where after that it gets interesting.
What about Luka?
I'm taking Russ over Luka.
You taking Russ over
Luka? I'm taking Russ over Luka. I need to see. I got to see Luka in the playoffs. We got to see what we're gonna get from Luka in the playoffs.
That's valid though. But
I got another one for you. If he was healthy and playing, and if his team was playing in the playoffs this year, I would take Steph over Russ right now because Steph obviously is more accomplished than Russell Westbrook, and he's won championships. You know, for the Warriors.
About that though, for Steph Curry though, Russ brings more to the table than Steph Curry.
I agree with that. But the only problem, not to cut you off, the problem that I have with Russ is, Clarence, he hasn't been out in the first round since Kevin Durant departed Oklahoma City. Okay. That's the only problem I have with Russell Westbrook. If Russell Westbrook if he was able to get the Oklahoma City Thunder at least to the second round or the conference finals after Kevin Durant left, I think we would view him higher on the NBA best players list.
Okay. Is he better? Would you pick Damian Lillard over Russ?
Yes.
Okay. What about?
Yes, because I seen Dame ball out against Russ last year in the playoffs. Dame, he sent Russell Westbrook and Paul George. He sent them packing out of Oklahoma City.
Hey, you want to know something crazy? It was I think the Thunder won Game 1, right? They won Game 1 and against the Portland Trailblazers, and oh my God! And Damian Lillard said in a press conference that Russell Westbrook came past him and just said, "I've been busting your ass for years," and that fired up Damian Lillard. And he hit that game shot on Paul George and just have him bye-bye.
Yeah, and he sent them packing out of. He sent them packing out of Oklahoma City. He sent them home, and Oklahoma City, obviously having a good year this year with Chris Paul and Steven Adams and Billy Donovan. I like what Oklahoma City is doing. They are a top-notch organization in the NBA. I think the Oklahoma City Thunder, they always playoff contenders. They never just fold the tent and let's just tank and prepare for the NBA draft and have a top 5 draft pick. Oklahoma City always playoff contenders. But the only issue I got with Russell Westbrook, he hasn't been on the first round since Kevin Durant left Oklahoma City, and he's inconsistent at shooting his 3-point shots. That's my problem with Russ. That's the only issue I got with Russ, because I believe Russell Westbrook is box office. I love watching Russell Westbrook play night in and night out because he gives you 110% effort. Like his motor never stops. He always going at 100 miles per hour. But you can also make an argument that's part of the reason why he struggles in the playoffs, because he doesn't know how to calm down and run the offense and have it flowing for his team to be successful.
Yeah, I think for Russell Westbrook, though, he gives you all the piece that you love out of him, but he just needs the right – I just feel like he needs the right staff and the right player – not the right players, the staff to, like, help him more, let the game come to him, because he's a beast, man. But he's a beast. Yeah, he's a beast, man. But
he definitely is.
But dang, Trey, we got to move on. Though. We got to move on.
Let's transition to NFL real quick, because earlier today, AJ Green, he signed his franchise tender for $18.2 million. So he's going to be with the Bengals for this upcoming season, but he'll be a free agent next year. So what did you make of AJ Green signing his franchise tender for $18.2 million today?
Well, I was disappointed that they couldn't get a deal done by Wednesday. It just seemed so obvious that they wasn't getting the deal done by Wednesday. But now he playing out his season. He's going to report to training camp, and they go negotiate this contracts after the season. But I think this is a plus. We got AJ Green back, Trey. Look, Trey, I'm so excited we got AJ Green back. I'm so excited because, listen, we drafted Joe Burrow, and AJ Green is going to benefit for Burrow because AJ Green is, I ain't going to lie, he's easily top 5. He's not no top 3 receiver no more. So I had to realize that. But he's easily top 5 receiver in NFL. Like, Burrow's going to benefit for him so much because he's going to need those catches that if he needs him to bail him out, he's going to benefit him. But for AJ getting this franchise tag for $18.2 million, that puts him in the top 5 highest paid receiver right now as we speak. And I'm so excited. Me and Cam was talking about, like, I'm so excited for AJ to be back. And Cam was saying, I don't care if he's here for a year. I'm excited. First of all, shout out to Cam Chancellor for timeout with Coach Cam. So we're excited, Trey. We're excited. Now, AJ make us legitimate contenders if everything goes right.
Y'all not contenders.
I'm telling you.
What are y'all be contending for the 4th spot in the AFC North? Y'all not contenders.
I'm gonna tell you this: if the defense, we believe it or not, we probably on paper a top 15 defense in the league. Top 15.
Okay,
I'll be honest. Okay, I can see it.
When it comes to AJ Green obviously is a 7-time Pro Bowl receiver, 3-time second-team All-Pro receiver. He was on the All-Rookie team in 2011. I know AJ Green is a great receiver when he's healthy. On his career, he has over 8,000 receiving yards. He's close to 9,000 receiving yards for his career, 602 receptions, 63 total touchdowns on his career. I know AJ Green, when he's healthy, he is an elite receiver. But that's the problem, Clarence. He hasn't been healthy since the 2017 season. And that year he had over 1,000 receiving yards, 75 receptions, 8 touchdowns. But for the most part, in the 2018 season, he didn't play the entire year. And then last year, he didn't play at all. The only question I have about AJ Green is if he is healthy or not. And I think your Bengals actually made a mistake. I believe they should have traded AJ Green away two years ago. 2 years ago, because they were rebuilding. They were rebuilding. And I believe if you're rebuilding, you have to have that Patriot mindset. We're going to trade you a year early rather than a year too late. I think AJ Green's best days are behind him. I don't think he's still going to be playing at that elite level that you believe he's going to be playing at. You got to think Joe Burrow is going to go through a developmental stage. Joe Burrow is not going to be playing at an elite level for the first few years of his career. I think AJ Green, he's basically in Cincinnati to sell tickets because we know AJ, when he's healthy, he can produce. But I think his best days are behind him. I don't think he's still that elite receiver that you think he is.
Ridiculous, man. You're ridiculous thinking all that, Trey.
He's injury prone. He's injury
prone. Vasectomy. That's ridiculous, man. Let me tell you this. Burrow's gonna sell tickets because Andy Dalton is not the quarterback no more. Big shout out to Andy Dalton because he had a great year. I mean, not a great year. He had his good times in Cincinnati, but it was time to move on. But I'm telling you this. AJ Green is going to help Burrow. Look, nobody is expecting Burrow to be elite in the next 3 years. We know he's going to be in the developing stage. We know that's going to take 3 years for him to be elite quarterback. We knows that, Trey. We knows that. But AJ Green's going to benefit that because it's going to help them be a better quarterback. And I truly believe AJ Green can get like 80 catches, 1,000 yards, and 5 touchdowns. Hell, I'll take that.
We'll talk about it next week on the show. Everybody remember, go and follow Wise Guys on Twitter at WiseGuys_H. Also on Facebook, Wise Guys. Real quick, Clarence, any plans this weekend? Anything big?
No, not plans. Working on the weekend and relaxing.
Have a good weekend, bro. I'm going to have Trey Muir. Have a good one.
Yes, sir.
It's the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.